All right, I think we're in business. We've got few people jumping on. Hello, Diane. Good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's good. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, Yvonne. Good to see you. Hello, Mom. Yeah, okay. I think the comments are coming in. We're good to go. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, hello and welcome. Hello, Martha from Texas. If you don't know what this is my weekly Monday night Facebook Live. What am I doing? Hangout. I jump on here just about every Monday night at about 8 p.m. Eastern time and just kind of hang out with you guys, catch up, say hello, and give you a quick rundown of just projects that I am currently working on and also give you updates on just like books that I'm reading that I'm enjoying and then any movies and TV shows that I am enjoying as well. Just kind of a little pop culture, just hang out, shoot the breeze kind of thing. You guys can ask questions. We do go off on tangents from time to time. And if you are watching live, please be sure and jump into the comments and say hello to everybody. Hello, Susan in the UK. Good to see you. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Lynette. Hello, Tammy. Hello, Lorraine. Glad you guys could jump on here and join us tonight. So, sorry, I missed last week. It does happen from time to time. My track record is not 100% perfect, but it's pretty close. I don't miss too many Mondays, and I usually try to make sure that if I am going to miss a Monday, I let you guys know in advance. But this past week, it was a little short notice, so I do apologize. But I'm back, and we're gonna just go ahead and jump into it. But before I go through our normal topics, I do want to thank you guys. I didn't get a chance to do it last week, of course, because I missed last week. But thank you for helping to make Dark Choice, which is the seventh book in the Lance Brody series. It just came out on the 30th of November, and you guys made it a number one bestseller in I think two different Amazon categories in the United States, and that is really, really, really awesome. So thank you so much for that. I had the largest number of pre-orders that I've ever had for a Lance book with Dark Choice, and the launch was also very, very successful. So whether you pre-ordered it, whether you read it when it came out, ebook, paperback, whether you read it in Kindle Unlimited, it all counts. So thank you. And so far, the messages and comments that you guys have sent me, the reviews that you've left on Amazon have been just bigger and better than I could have imagined. So I'm really glad that you liked the book, and thank you for reading it. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me and Lance. Hello, Robert from Ohio. Good to see you, sir. Hello, Nancy. Who else we got? Hello, Diane from Texas. Got a couple people from Texas on here. All right. So that is where we stand with the Dark Choice situation. So we'll go ahead and jump into our normal topics that we usually cover. We'll start with what I am reading. So if you have been following me on here for the past couple of weeks, or if you are a member of my Patreon and you've been getting my weekly newsletter that I send you with a little more in-depth detail to some of the topics that I cover on here on Monday nights on Facebook, I've been on a little bit of a reading streak with a gentleman named Andrew Main. He is a writer. He's actually, I think, published through Thomas and Mercer, which is an Amazon imprint. I read the first book in his The Naturalist series probably earlier. I think it was earlier this year I read it. It wasn't last year. It was earlier this year I read it. It was in Kindle Unlimited, so I grabbed it. I read it. It was pretty good. I told myself that I would go ahead and I'd read the second one, so I chose to do that, I guess, a week and a half ago or so. I read the second one and said, okay, well, the third one's available too. So I jumped right into the third one. That's kind of one of the cool things about having a series that is in Kindle Unlimited is you can just kind of just jump from one to the other. You're still just paying that one monthly fee. And the cool thing with Kindle Unlimited is a lot of the books, especially ones that are Amazon imprints, you get the audiobook for free, like no additional charge with the ebook. So you can, sync it and jump back and forth. So I've been doing that and really enjoying it. But I've described Andrew Main's work here in the Naturalist series as kind of a little bit of Michael Crichton light mixed with Harlan Coben light to a certain degree. Like you kind of have your local cop buddy stuff, but also some really interesting scientific stuff that goes on as well, and what this guy is investigating and the crimes that he solves. So they're pretty good. I think the second one was better than the first one, and I'm only about halfway through the third one, so I don't really have a full opinion on that yet. There is a fourth book in the series, but I don't know that I'm going to jump into that one like immediately. I might want to take a break instead of reading 4 books in the same series, in succession. But the first book was called The Naturalist. The second one was called Looking Glass. And the one I'm currently reading is called Murder Theory. So if you're interested in checking those out, they are on Kindle Unlimited. They're pretty good. They're pretty solid. So that's it for what I am reading. I do think I'll go ahead and just make like a prediction of what I'm going to read next. Anya Alborn. She has a new book that just came out on Kindle and paperback, I think. She is one of the kind of like sleeper horror authors that people don't talk about nearly enough. Her book Within These Walls was absolutely fantastic. That was the first book of hers I read a few years ago. She's got some other ones out there. Go check her out if you want some pretty cool horror. Again, it's Anya Alborn. I think Ania, and then Alborn is her last name. So her new book just came out. It's probably going to be my next read. I have been waiting for a new book of hers for some time now. Segueing into what I've been watching in terms of movie and TV. So the same series that I've been watching for the last several weeks. I'm still watching Ghosts on CBS. I still think it's hilarious. I thought the last episode where the one ghost possessed the husband was just phenomenal. I thought that guy just stole the episode with his performance. It was really, really funny. I have not yet watched the season finale of Succession. It came on last night. I'm upset about it. I wanted to watch it. We haven't got a chance to watch it yet. It's going to be what I do after we finish this Facebook Live. So it's been a very interesting battle today to avoid the spoilers on social media for the Succession finale. It just kind of has been, I see things popping up in my Twitter feed left and right. I'm trying to ignore it all. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we just watched episode 1 of of Yosemite, which kind of in the same vein of when I stumbled into Breaking Bad and when I stumbled into Succession. I'm coming into it late. There's been multiple seasons already that have happened, and it's already gotten, a lot of claim and a lot of hype, and people love it. And I'm just coming in late. So we did watch the first episode of Yosemite, which was like an hour and a half long. And it's pretty cool. I dig it. I like the scenery. I like the characters. I think it's going to be a good series. My good friend Jason and his wife watch it. They love it. So I'm probably going to continue to watch that as time permits. And then in a very interesting change of pace for me, on Saturday, I actually sat down and binge watched an entire it's the only, I guess, season of a limited series on Netflix called True Story. It's a kind of a drama, murder, crime thing with Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes. And it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And I think the reason that it was so binge worthy was because it's one of the few dramas that I have seen recently that keep their episodes limited to 30 minutes. I think there were 7 or 8 episodes total. The first one was an hour, but all the rest of them were only a half hour. So it was real easy just to jump from one to the next. And the writers did a really, really good job, almost like chapters in a really good thriller novel. They just ended every episode in that little beat, that little moment where you go, oh shoot, well, yeah, I want to see what happens next. I gotta jump to the next episode. So that was pretty good. Kevin Hart, obviously known for his comedy. He's got some chops with drama. He's done some dramatic roles. You've seen it in the past a little bit with some smaller stuff, but this was good. I enjoyed it. And of course, Wesley Snipes, icon in the kind of action stuff, but it was good. I mean, nothing spectacular. I don't think it's going to win any awards, but it was a fun show just to kind of binge and have a lazy Saturday. So And then in terms of movies that I watched, so I mentioned again to my Patreon members in the newsletter I send them, I have been trying to watch Christmas themed horror movies for basically for the month of December. That's what I want to watch. I want to watch Christmas themed horror movies, and there's so many of them. It's odd how many horror movies are Christmas themed. But I have so far watched a movie called I completely blanked on it. I didn't put it on my notes. The Christmas something. It's a nightmare or something like that. I don't know. It was on Shudder. It's an anthology. It's got 4 different like short films that are all kind of interwoven together, and it really wasn't that good. It's like half the stories were good, half of them were just kind of eh. One of them was ridiculous, so I kind of moved on from that. It's probably why I can't even remember the name of the movie. But the other one that I just recently watched was called True Story. And that was a movie that just came out, I think, this past week. You can rent it on, I think, all the streaming platforms. It's also available on AMC Plus, which is like AMC's streaming service. So I watched that. That is a really odd film in the fact that it is one of the most strange blends of dark comedy. Like, it's legitimately like cringy funny at times, and the awkward situations that come up in some of the things the characters say and do. And it's also heartbreaking and like devastating in terms of the overall idea and the ending. That's not a spoiler. I mean, this whole movie is setting up the ending, but basically this group of friends that, I guess, they grew up in school together. They're now all like middle-aged adults. They have families. They have significant others. They all gather in this like countryside estate for this one last like holiday Christmas gathering together. And the reason that it's the one last is because this is basically a commentary on global warming. The Earth has basically failed us, and there is a enormous like Earth-size cloud of poisonous gas that is just sweeping across the entire world and killing everybody. And the time that it's supposed to hit where they are is the following day. So there's this whole like kind of anxiety and this tension-filled last 24 hours at this supposed to be a feel-good holiday, gathering. It's a really difficult movie to explain. But it really does have some comedic moments. It's got some great performances, but it is also pretty tragic. So I really enjoyed it, even though it is a difficult movie to like explain why I enjoyed it. But I was like actually really captivated with everything that was going on. So that is something you could check out if you want a depressing holiday movie to watch. And then I don't think I have to go back and look at my notes. I'm pretty sure that this was what I watched the week before, so I missed last week's chat with you guys. I watched a movie on Shudder called The Advent Calendar, which was actually really, really cool, about a young woman who is paraplegic. She's in a wheelchair, and her good friend comes to visit her from Germany and gives her this like big wooden like box. Almost looks like a little jewelry box, but it's like an advent calendar. And every time one of the doors open up, basically it triggers all these weird kind of like supernatural kind of things that are happening to her in her life and some decisions she has to make. And it's wild. And I really, really enjoyed it. That's a really fun movie. Also on Shudder. So there's a lot of like strange, weird holiday movies on Shudder, but that one was definitely better than the Christmas whatever that I watched before. That was not very good. So I don't know what's next. I think I want to watch Krampus. I think I want to watch Gremlins. There's a few in there that I definitely want to check out. I am not one of the people that consider Die Hard to be a Christmas movie. I'm just not in that camp. I'm not really a big Die Hard fan in general, so I will not be watching Die Hard for any of you that are maybe wondering about that. But anyway, that is it for what I am watching. So the other thing that we'll now segue right into is the what I'm working on. So, I finished writing Dark Choice back at the end, I guess, maybe mid-October. It went through the edits and the whole publishing process, came out at the end of November. And last week, I just started writing the second book in the Shiffy PI mystery series that started in June with Run No More. The first book came out, so I'm working on the second book now, and I'm only like 4 or 5 chapters into it, about 7,000 words, but I'm making progress. It's really fun to be back in the head of Alexa. She's such a different character to write than Lance is. Lance is very calm, cool, collected. He's, very polite, very even keel. He's got a temper, but it's pretty much restrained most of the time. Alexa is a lot more sassy. She's a lot more in your face. She's much more of a badass. Doesn't put up with any BS from anybody. And now that she is, not to spoil anything from book 1, but now that she has a place that she can call home and a legitimate reason to kind of do what she does, it's fun. It's going to be fun to explore that world that I started building. The same way that I kind of expanded and explored Lance's universe, I'm now getting to build out and write some more stories with Alexa. And Ezra, I'm really excited to get back with Ezra again as well. He's one of my favorite characters I think that I've created. So it's a lot of fun, and I am looking forward to continuing writing that series, and hopefully you guys will look forward to reading it as well. But I don't have any type of real timeline for a release on that book, but ideally it would be, first part of 2022, that book would come out. So I'm definitely excited for that. And I do have some kind of like more information on what's going to be happening with Lance. I'm actually going to be recording a video and probably posting that to Patreon sometime, maybe next week, or maybe I'll wait till the first of the year after the holidays. So you guys will find out what's going on with Lance over there. And I'll figure out a way to kind of share it with the masses at some point in the future. But as of right now, my main focus for writing is Shiffy PI book 2. So it's fun. It is a lot of fun to get back with her. It was actually surprising how fun it was. Starting a book is always like the hardest part for me. Like, sitting down and seeing the blank page for chapter 1, hardest thing to do. And once I got back into like writing dialogue for Alexa, it was like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is fun. I like this girl a lot. So anyway, I'm just rambling about me writing a character that I made up now, but it's fun. Anyway, that I think is all I have. So thanks for watching tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Apologies for the short notice of missing last week, but we're back this week, and that's all I got. I won't take up any more of your guys' time. So thanks for hanging out. Again, thank you to everybody who grabbed a copy of Dark Choice. And if you want to find links to any of my books or to my newsletter sign up or to check out my Patreon page, there's a Linktree link in the description of this video you can check out that will take you to a menu, and you can find everything that you need to find there. And that should be it. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. If you have read Dark Choice and you enjoyed it, would be very, very appreciative if you could jump over to Amazon and leave a review saying you liked it. Reviews really do help us out a lot. Trust me. So thanks again. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night and your week, and we will be back next Monday. Bye.